Security. Social Security. Social Security. Social Security. When I young and I walk and me busted up, I make sure he pay. So when I hold and I call and I rest in me soul, me pension is there. If I sick or maybe I suffer a job injury, it's the same Social Security.
Because I figured if I used to cuss so much that this thing ain't so nice, and then I find out boys one of the nicest things in the world, I need to tell other people too. So that's one thing I want to tell some people today. I have never made a claim from Social Security. Never got pregnant. Never. I almost said never got sick. I almost said never got sick. Well, I got sick, but sick. Meaning, you might got a little cold, but you go to work. I know some people who, if a fingernail break, they want 2 weeks sick leave. I have, in my experience of Social Security, Paul could tell you, I've heard of people who go to CPL matches, for instance, with 2 weeks sick leave. Unfortunately, the camera focus on them, so you have to see them at test match in Antigua and so, right? But I would want to urge people, don't play with sickness. If you're sick, you're sick. And then somebody asked me, well, somebody told me, the system not fair. You know why it ain't fair? Suppose I only live to 62. And so when somebody tell me that this ain't a big deal, why are you taking this thing, making such a big deal? It is a big deal. Many persons have started this journey and can't make 62. When I woke up this morning, I realized I made it. I said, thank you, Jesus. Because many people ain't make it. And then you said the system ain't fair, so where all the money gone? But what about all the time you took sick leave? And so the system works, you know. All the time you took sick leave and maternity leave, when Social Security working out your pension, they ain't gonna say, let me see how much Verena, how much sick leave and how much maternity and subtract. No, Social Security don't know like that, you know. You still get your full pension based on the 3 best years in the last 15 and all them kind of calculations. So it might not sound fair on one hand, but it just fair, it just works out. All of us pulling together to help everybody. And so if I didn't make it today, my money would have gone to help somebody else. But I'm glad I make it. Because I plan to be around for a little while, by God's grace. I plan to be playing cricket when I'm 90. You understand? By God's grace. And the thing about it is, you know, when I said about sickness, I remember one week I was real sick. Mickey Mills hit me in my jaw, break my jawbone with a bouncer. And the Monday I was at work. Because I figured I right. I was only able to take soup, but I went to work. I want people to take work serious. That's the point I'm making. If a fingernail break doesn't mean you need to go to get sick leave, right? And Social Security payments, for those of you who are employed, check up carefully if your bosses are paying for you. One, check up carefully if they're paying the right amount for you. I remember Paul and I had some issues. Fellow come in and said, is there a little chip in this area pay me for sickness benefit? He said, but that's what your wage is. He said, no, not that they may make. Only to find out that the boss is sending in a low figure, so he go pay less, hoping that the fellow don't get sick. So when the fellow gets sick now, the payment is based on what the guy's salary is. And then, you know, that's where confusion starts, right? So we want people to be honest. There are at least 2 guys who have met me and told me, Curtis, I'm so thankful that you take all the work and we went and registered to be self-employed. Fellow tell me again, $700 and something a month now for the rest of my life. You want a drink? And I remember Kusi, you know, tell your stupidness. I said, no man, I want the drink. I'm just happy for you that you took the advice. And so my appeal is to make sure that your employers are paying for you, make sure they're paying the right amount for you, and you could check at your Social Security office anytime so that they could update you and tell you if the payments are accurate. If you're self-employed, make sure that you pay on your own behalf, because it's worth it. In the long run, you're going to get your pension like me. So may God bless everybody here today, and may God bless Social Security. Thank you so much.
Good morning, all. It's a joy to be here, especially since my friend Joseph. I haven't seen Joseph in a while. Curtis is right. Curtis still look the same. Met both of them when we were about maybe 12 or 13. Still look quite youthful. Joseph and I were a little more on the delinquent side, so we sat in the back. I remember his desk was right in front of mine. Curtis was in the front. He didn't dare come in the back. But anyway, Curtis, I love all the things you said. And Joseph has assured that Mr. Liebert have a job ready for you again. so no one could say no to that. After what all the things they said about Social Security, the job is there. However, Curtis, I'm happy you said those things, because we are seeing the manifestation of a social contract between Social Security and the people. And that contract is simple. You pay your contributions, and at appropriate times, there are benefits. You and I have gotten to the point where, and Joseph said it a while ago, he can't wait to go back home to sleep, that we could sleep late because we held our end of that social contract. We paid our contributions. And Social Security, in true form, said, yes, Vernon Powell, yes, Curtis Morton, yes, Joseph Liebert, you did your part, we're now doing our part, and we get our check every month. And not only you getting a check today, Joseph, and my check would be here today too as well, Joseph. I think we get paid on the 23rd. So we're good. We could even go and have a drink. And I hope, Curtis, as you said, that people continue to treat Social Security with utter seriousness, paramount seriousness. And I hope Social Security treats itself with that seriousness. Because you and I are not unaware that there are many reforms that is needed by Social Security. Because as you spoke about your pension, the same for me, the same for Joseph. You and I know that within 5 years, we would have gotten back everything that we paid into Social Security. And by the looks of you, you're not going anywhere anytime soon. And I'll keep begging for time as well. Joseph too. So we will get a whole lot more than what we paid in. Yes, it's good for us, but for it to continue to be good for us, we have to ensure that changes are made to the system. And we should not be ashamed to say those things. We should not be afraid to say those things, because they're needed. And they're needed not today, they're needed yesterday, last year, 5 years ago. And I would mention too, Curtis, I'm sure the short panty, brown khaki short panty you went to school could still fit you. Look at you. So youthful. Same with Joseph. Very, very youthful. Very, very youthful. And so you're going to be around for a while. And so therefore, Social Security has to consider that 62 is now 40. I'm still nimble enough to play a little tennis. And their pension formula, it has to be changed. It has to be changed for Social Security to survive. And for anyone to say, oh, that, I mean, when we meet guys in particular, we like to say, well, the age should be lowered to 55. And who knows? Sometimes I'm not having a drink, I agree with them. Sometimes to get people to come around to your point, accept their point, listen. And then at a convenient time, you say, boy, you know, I listen to you, but this is how it works. And we know that those two changes gives longevity to Social Security. So I hope that Social Security and the persons within the walls of Social Security, you and I removed from them now, would find the intestinal fortitude to make those changes.
Social Security. Social Security. Social Security. When I young and I walk and me busted up, I make sure he pay. So when I hold and I call and I rest in me soul, me pension is there. If I sick or maybe I suffer, I drop injury. It's the same social security.